Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Recording has started. Hello and welcome once again to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Shirley, the Professor Esser. And of course, with me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber from the Burg of Pitts.
Phil, me, and Perich.
Hey, Phil. Welcome. And by the way, just for those interested in Patreon, I do want to let you know that on occasion, those Hard R movie reviews, they are topless. So,
at least on Charlie Esser's
might be worth the extra dough. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
Get what the censors won't let you have for free.
We're not giving the beefcake away for free, people.
So we're trying to do a bait and switch here, okay? So
well,
trying to
you were the first time. Someone else could be topless this time. You never know.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's always. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm there for it. But anyway, not the point. I'm just saying, come watch our topless movie reviews over on the Patreon. Let's get to some stories and some ideas in the world of comic books this week. So let's hit Loki.
Episode 2, yeah.
Episode 2. So, fun fact, Maz and I do our full stream ahead and Enough Said reviews on Tuesday, which works out great because I get to make all kinds of crazy predictions.
And see the next day, yeah.
Then see the next day how they're all completely wrong. Although, alert readers are already talking that maybe I'm not as wrong as I think. Have you heard the Sylvie theory?
Isn't it that she might be the Enchantress, maybe?
Well, okay, so here's what it is. Sylvie was a being whose powers, I believe, did come from Loki. This was during, I think, the Lady Loki era. Mm-hmm. And she was essentially one of the young masters, which was a young group of masters of evil that were sort of assembled to, I want to say, fight the Young Avengers, but for some reason I also thought they were associated with the Runaways at some point. But Sylvie is the character who believes she is Asgardian, believes she is the Enchantress, but in fact she is much like, okay, so spoilers for the show, mm-hmm. Much like we see Sylvie transferring her consciousness into other people temporarily, may just be a transferred set of memories and powers from another Loki.
Yep. Maybe
a Loki did the Ovid switch on her, the way that that Dropout Doom likes to do. But, yeah, so that's interesting, to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
But as it is, I was hoping for Old Man Loki. I was hoping for, King Loki, who's mad about the TVA destroying his timeline. But then again...
Well, hey, we got 4 more episodes, and, we pretty much,
Only 4?
I think it's only 6 episodes total this season, yeah.
It's always so disappointing.
Maybe we'll get a season 2. You never know.
Well, we are getting a season 2. They have said they're doing season 2. They actually started hinting we might get season 2 of WandaVision 2.
But
Feige's like, I'm not going to say we're not going to do it.
I wonder if they don't want to announce too much yet, because WandaVision and this are, pretty much going to run into Doctor Strange too. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and of course the writer of this is the writer on Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. So.
And did we create the multiverse this episode? Did she, that with that bomb, and you just see all the lines come off the the prime timeline? It's like, oh.
Yeah, and actually, one of the most important things that I think no one is talking about is the fact that as the timelines are branching off, we actually see the main timeline being pulled towards the branches. Because that is this thing, there's an interesting thing about vectors and waves and parabolae when you're plotting something on a graph and how something progresses. And as I've always said, if you can keep it within that 0.5 variance or that 5 variance, eventually, whatever it is that happens, if you can wipe out enough of it, the rest of that timeline will just get pulled back into the main timeline. Someone might have a vague memory of something. Someone might says, "Oh yeah, wasn't it the Berenstein Bears? Wasn't it the Berenstein Bears?" No.
I'm just wondering, she has some kind of grudge against the TVA. What if it isn't that we're creating the multiverse, but we're just opening the doors back up? What if, they're like, "Oh yeah, we keep the one timeline," but what if they're not? What if they just like have the multiverse walled off from this universe and, she's from somewhere else in the multiverse and they were like, "Oh, we got to kill her so no one finds out about the multiverse."
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, I'm actually most interested in the idea of the TVA trying to hold Captain America to justice. And that's the story I want to see, is that the TVA showing up and Peggy and Cap just beating them up repeatedly. Like every couple of years they show back up to try and get them back into the timeline, and it's like they just keep on defeating them. And
or what if he was close to discovering them and they're like, "Oh no, let him go off with his girlfriend, that way he won't be looking into our business."
Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually why I think was that Peggy Carter scene, maybe it was supposed to be that's how they get him.
Yeah.
Because once they could get Peggy Carter away from him, then he's like, "Okay, what do I got to do?" It's like, we're going to send her back. She's going to be in her timeline. You stay here and grow old, and we'll send you back to that.
Or maybe is that how he doesn't affect the timeline? Is that he thinks he went back in time, but they got him like in a little pocket dimension?
I mean, anything's possible. We don't know. I just think it's interesting that they do have the 1940s guy with the big Hallie Atwell hair in the background. So maybe that's intentional, maybe it's not. But whatever the story is, we'll soon know.
And I wonder if they're going to pull Mandarin here. And I wonder, are the timekeepers even real, or is that just like, is that just something Ravonna says to keep everyone in line? She really pulling the strings, and is, maybe it's her, Kang, and somebody else pulling the strings, but, they paint themselves, "Oh, there's these big timekeepers."
Well, to be fair, it could be Kang, Immortus, and Ramatut.
Oh, yes!
It could be 3 versions of Kang. The 3 versions of Kang that made the alliance in
the unholy trinity.
Yeah, but at the end of the multiversal war, 3 Kangs came to a peace and said, "Well, we need to keep the universe being what we need it to be for now. We know we're all going to branch off into our own things, but we need it to be stable until we get to that point."
What if they're all Kangs from different timelines and they're like, "Oh yeah, how we stop another temporal war? We gotta keep people from learning about the multiverse."
Well, or whatever,
Yeah.
But and it's keeping differentiations on the Kang construct from coming, because that's the thing. If you think about it, like when you think about a multiversal war, who wants a multiversal war? Kang.
Oh, yeah.
Kang is going to conquer, because once he's conquered one timeline, the next logical thing is to conquer the next timeline over, but that timeline has already been conquered by a Kang. So it is just this battle between various Kangs or other people. So maybe, that was a plotline in an alternate timeline in the MC2 universe, where effectively the Nazis won World War II, but then Dr. Doom killed the Red Skull and took over. So it was like a Nazi universe, but ruled by Dr. Doom, so it wasn't quite as racist, because that's at least somewhat acceptable. And they did like a little mirror universe. But those are fun books when they go to that universe. But
we've gotten a bunch of stories with Council Cross Time Kangs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the idea. Like, there could be these alternate universes, but my point is that in that multiversal war, you could have had a Doctor Doom, universe where Doctor Doom conquers, and Doctor Doom is the time-displaced conqueror of the universe. Because that's the idea. In that universe, it's like, well, we've already conquered this world. We've already established this. The next logical thing is, let's go to the next Earth over. And we'll conquer that Earth. Because Earth is the best one. So why do you want to conquer, Mars when you could just conquer another Earth?
And, I mean, do we want to talk about the real hive of scum and villainy? What was it? Roxcart?
Oh, Roxcart. I like Roxcart. It is a logical outgrowth of Roxxon.
In 2050, yeah.
In 2050. And man, all those disasters they're listing. And they're all vague enough. I'll bet you every single one of them happens. I bet you there was a hurricane in this, and they said there was a hurricane. It's like, yeah, there are hurricanes every year. Alabama gets hit by hurricanes, so that the idea that there will be a hurricane in 2050 that hits Alabama, it's not a big stretch.
I know.
That's the thing. It's like, a tornado hit this place, or a volcano exploded. It's like, yeah, they do that.
Hey, Charlie, you know someone named Travis?
Travis? What's good, my baby boy? I would tune in. My legs were literally shaking. Okay.
You don't know that person? That's a weird... Right?
It's entirely possible I do. I don't know. I know a lot of people.
He's drunk, and he knows a lot of people.
I know I never charge. That's one thing I'll say. So right there, that's a lie. Anything else is entirely possible, but that's a lie. I don't charge for my good... When I do a good deed...
Oh, my.
It's simply for the good of humanity. All right, moving right along.
Speaking of Loki, did you see? I think they said this week on Disney Plus, like the Marvel series, they're going to start putting them out on Wednesdays, like they did with Loki. They're going to keep going with that.
Yeah, movies will be Fridays.
And series will be Wednesdays.
TVs will be Wednesdays because they don't want to step on each other's feet. Interestingly enough, Clone Wars is still on Friday, so we'll have to see what the Star Wars people do with all that. By the way, have you seen Clone Wars with Luca?
No, I haven't.
Okay, they're good. How excited is Luca about Luca?
I think we're gonna watch it, but he's kind of like, he's 8. He's like, he doesn't know about someone else having his name. I was like, come on, there's gonna be all this merch with your name on it.
Yeah, and maybe he's like, I don't want to be a sea monster. I don't know. Tristan's summer reading book is Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. So he thinks that's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
At least I thought it was cool. He was like, yeah, that's cool, Dad. You're very lame, but I like that you're happy, Dad. That's what he does. I like that you're happy. But no, I think it's cool. Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. Could be cool. We'll see. Well, he'll see. It's on his summer reading list, not mine. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's that. But yeah, I mean, Loki, I like where it's going. Mm-hmm. I like the story it's telling. I'm interested in seeing where it goes next. I like that, okay, spoilers, they have Loki go through the door. So Loki and Sylvie are going to have a conversation next episode. Mm-hmm. Obvi. That's the other scene we saw with Loki and Sylvie at the end of all things, probably at the extinction event of the dinosaurs. Because that's where we see all the stars falling in the sky. Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, I always find I can come back to the time of the dinosaurs. It's actually pretty safe. Most everything gets wiped out here. I bet you that's going to be a whole thing next episode. Mark my words.
Oh, yeah, they already made that thing about, hey, you could always travel back in time to a place that's about to be obliterated, and no one will know you were there because the place is going to get obliterated anyway.
Exactly. If the plane blows up, who knows you were there? The trick is every so often there will be a possible survivor.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make sure you don't run into any of those survivors. So you can be on the planes on 9/11. Don't be in the buildings because some people got out.
We should be
Oh, maybe is Sylvie going to be like a survivor of Asgard? Because they did go over, like the destruction of Asgard in this episode, too.
I mean, that could be a possibility. Oh, man. Oh, it'd be cool? She's one of... See, the only problem with that is well, okay, so here's what it is. There are survivors of Asgard. But the idea of maybe someone got left behind on Asgard...
Yeah.
Maybe one of Volstag's kids, because we know Volstagg got iced. And maybe she's like, no, you didn't save my papa. I'm going to kill you all. Because Volstagg has like 800 kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole shtick with Volstagg.
They all could. They're all immortals. I mean, any one of them could.
Yeah, so I like the idea. And one of his kids was a very big reader. So, I like the way, I love the interaction between Owen Wilson and Loki. I mean, honestly, the idea of finding someone that could actually hold their own against Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, yeah.
And, again, do it with just being quiet, which is what you need. And we get, like, puppy dog Loki a lot in this episode, where he's like, hey, here's the thing I'm going to do. Hey, I'm Loki, which is fun. Yeah. I like it because it works within the character. It works with everything we've established about him. And it works within the idea that Loki is doing his own thing. He's like, yes, he's working with the TVA, but, whether or not he betrays the TVA or serves the TVA is only going to be based on what is actually advantageous for Loki. And that's the real point of this, is that Loki serves Loki. Although, man, I gotta say this right now. If I do not get Mobius on a jet ski, I am going to be so effing mad. I want to see Mobius in, like, some tsunami's about to hit, and he's like, yeah! Riding the jet ski up the tsunami. Oh, which would be both beautiful and terrible and sad, but also we can do whatever we want, man.
They drop so much in this, you don't know what's going to come to pass, because, like, when they're, like, doing research, did you see the number 372, like, in the background?
No, but tell me about 372, Philip. Fill me in.
The very first appearance of the TVA was in the Mighty Thor 372.
There we go. They always do that. They always want to.
And what was up with that pen?
Oh, the Franklin Delano Roosevelt high, yeah. Well, it was just one more thing that another TVA agent, and there is another TVA agent, that Mobius, is it Ouroboros? Is there a guy named Ouroboros or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, there are two, like, and it's another Owen Wilson clone. So there's another Owen Wilson clone who we may see in this, who is Mobius 2. Mobius 2.0. And that's the other one that Ravina is working with. And it makes you wonder, is Ravina in charge? Because here's an interesting thing. We see Casey last episode talking to two guys who also have judges' sashes, but I'm guessing are in HR. Because he's filing a complaint about Ruby from Lovecraft Country. I forget her character's name in this one. I know it's is it B32? It's something. But I forgot her character's name because it is a random letter and some numbers. But I find it interesting that we only see Ravina being in charge of things. So do the other judges hold equal status to her? Are the other judges going to push back on her at some point? Or is she the primary judge, and that's why she gets to determine who does what?
Or is she a puppet for Kang?
Well, and people have pointed out that this character is actually associated with Kang. That this is actually Kang's lover. She was his lover.
But man, we do deep dives on this show. I mean, they started off the episode in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
What's in Oshkosh, Wisconsin?
That was the hometown of the inspiration for the mustaches for the TVA, Mr. Mark Grunwald. God bless his soul. God rest his soul.
God bless him. God bless Mark Grunwald. He's given us so much. I like Wisconsin as a state. I don't know if I've ever been to Oshkosh, actually. I can't remember where the Pagan Spirit Gathering was, but it was somewhere around there. Anyway,
that was
it's a great state. They sell beer in gas stations, which I love.
Nice.
They do in New York and they do in Ohio too, but in Michigan they don't, and so that was shocking to me. Now I live in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, where they have very special stores for liquor, like it was Canada or something. So.
Really? I thought they were more liberal with it up in Canada.
No, Canada, you go to a beer store or you go to a liquor store. You can't buy beer at the liquor store. You can't buy liquor at the beer store. Yeah. Two separate stores. You can go to a bar and get whatever you want, but if you want to have it to take home, if you want to get drunk at home, you have to go through the procedure. And there's like 2 or 3 companies that have the entire beer monopoly of Canada. It's weird. Anyway, where were we? Loki. Yeah, so Loki's exciting so far. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy it. And I am really interested in what Sylvie does, what this Lady Loki does, what female Loki does. I liked when they were showing all the different Loki variants. And they have like the Hulk Loki and the, basically different cartoon Lokis, essentially. Let's be honest. Have like the bearded Loki and Loki with antlers.
So in Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, are we going to get Wanda and Loki in this?
I mean, it depends on how much they're paying Hiddleston. I mean, not for nothing. Hiddleston, he's a British actor. He does a lot of work. Don't get him wrong, but it's fun work. It's good work, but he also has some premium cachet.
I mean, I could see them offering him the money because I think, didn't they say once again Loki broke like the premiere record for, Disney Plus. I
thought it was second. I thought WandaVision had a bigger one, or maybe
no. I think originally WandaVision set the record, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier beat that, and now Loki I think beat that. Every time it comes out,
I haven't seen that yet. Last I heard was it was the second, so I think it might have come after Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, but it might have also beat WandaVision, which is actually saying something because this is the third one.
Yeah,
which means that if it could beat WandaVision after we were so starved for Marvel content. Mm-hmm. We don't care. We don't understand it. We are going to watch it. We are here for it. We want to watch this show. We are desperate. We need our fix.
Well, yeah. I think when WandaVision started, we were desperate for content, but people were like, what's this going to be? And then, once WandaVision hit, people were excited. Then Falcon and Winter Soldier, everyone's like, yes, more.
Yeah, and now we're here, and like I said, to me, it's cool that it didn't get as high as Falcon Winter Soldier because this is more cerebral, so, don't always want the hoi polloi around. It's like, yes, I understand you don't understand time-space continuums. That's okay. There are shows for you to go watch your shows. Black Widow is coming out in just a few weeks, so they can go watch that. We're going to watch this. By the way, Black Widow's coming out in just a few weeks.
Yes.
Yes. I will be in the Pittsburgh area that Friday night, so.
Oh, yes. We might have to do a showing, yes.
Maybe we do a live show. Maybe we want to see it together. I don't know what your day is that day, but I'm in the area. That's all I'm saying.
I thought you said you were going to do a show from the theater or something.
No, I don't know if you wanted to go see it with me at the theater on a Friday, but maybe you don't have that time frame. I understand that. I can also download it onto Disney Plus because it's there. Yep. And Black Widow is coming. Black Widow is talking a lot. She spoke a bit about, from my perspective, I get her whole thing. It's like, I was a sex object in Iron Man 2. I got that I was a sex object in Iron Man 2. And it's fun to be sexy.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what your life story is. It's fun to be sexy. I love being sexy, which is why I be sexy so much. I will always be a sex object if you write me into a part where I get to be a sex object. I'm like, yes, look at all you get, gaze upon me. That is who I am, and I'm absolutely comfortable with that. Okay, but she's now moved on in her life, and she's looking at other roles. But she appreciates what she started at. She's glad at where she is now because she gets paid for it. So anyway, moving right along. Anything you want to talk about before we get to comics, Philippe?
Now let's get to comics.
Let's get to comics. I want to talk about the greatest tragedy
Heroes Reborn
in 7. Marvel Comics this week. You know what was the greatest tragedy in Marvel Comics this week, Phil?
That we did not get a Dark Squadron series.
I'm so mad. So, in Heroes Reborn number something or other, I got 7. A variant cover. Damn variant covers.
Number 7.
Number 7. We get this page, kids. This page of... And dang if it doesn't sound like a 1960s Batman story.
Ah!
The Goblin is out. And he is running for president, and he's built his own Dark Squadron with Ghost Runner, Nova. I wonder if that's Johnny Storm Nova, by the way. Valkyrie, Moon Knight. Ooh, in the black Moon Knight. He's new Moon Knight. Mm-hmm. And of course, Sentry looking all sad. And that we don't get a Sentry Hyperion beat down. That we don't get a Moon Knight versus
Nighthawk.
I mean, even Valkyrie versus Power
Princess,
whatever her name, yeah. Power Princess. I mean, we already know that Night Runner has come against what's his name before?
Was that the Blur?
The Blur, yeah. He used to be the Wizard. For those into your Squadron lore, he used to be the Wizard. And people thought the Wizard's name sounded silly.
Especially when he had more yellow in his costume, too.
Yeah. Well, by the way, can I just say for a moment, the most powerful scene, not that in this, is the Blur looking at when they go to the Nick Fury Memorial.
Oh, yes, for former President Nick Fury, yes.
Yeah, and
the Howling Commander-in-Chief.
The Howling Commander-in-Chief, and in Mephisto we trust, but then we see the Wizard that the Blur knows maybe don't trust Mephisto.
He sold his marriage to Mephisto. Sound familiar, kids?
Someone's gotta. But also what I love about this is we also see him being way more staid and human in this. As he's talking to Mary Jane and they're trading their marriage. Because literally he's almost a comic book character. Mm-hmm. Gee, he's a comic book character in most of this. And this is this one moment where he gets some humanity. So that's cool.
That's just Mephisto at the bottom there.
Yeah. Well, although it's interesting because, I mean, obviously, and this goes back to, when you talk about when you talk about the, was it the Earth? Which Earth was it with the evil, with the crime syndicate of
Earth
America?
3. Earth 3.
Earth 3, yeah. And there's a line from that Ultraman who makes a point that there is no God in our universe, there's only Mammon. Mm-hmm. And it's an interesting little thing here where it's like, yeah, there is no God in this universe. There is only Mephisto. And it is Mephisto within his, darkest nature and his Randian, love of Mammon kind of qualities that informs this universe.
So maybe this universe will survive this event and this will be like their Marvel's Earth 3.
I mean, maybe, although, man, I gotta tell you, man, have they done Coulson dirty.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, granted, they've done Coulson dirty by this point already. But we see he's got... What's he got, Phil, on the last page?
He has the
Pandemonium Cube.
Yes, the Helihedron, our Pandemonium Cube.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's getting dark here. I don't want them to do Coulson so evil. I'll be honest with you. It kind of hurts me a bit because I'm a fan of Coulson as a character.
Unless he's an LMD or something.
Well, I mean, technically, weren't they all LMDs originally?
Exactly. Maybe LMD Coulson's like, I want to be a real boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the idea. But, I still say Coulson didn't die in Deadpool. Because if you look at the hobo at the end of Deadpool, the one where Coulson dies, that looks like Coulson dressed up as a hobo. And there's things he says in that make you go, hey, wait, is that Coulson dressed up like a hobo? Which makes me wonder, is the evil Coulson been an LMD this whole time? Just like the Squadron Supreme. And just like all of them trying to get... And are they cribbing from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where it was actually the Darkhold that brought them all to be sentient LMDs?
There you go.
There's a story there, Philip. I don't know if you are looking for it, but I saw it. So, Phil, you pick. What do you want to do next? We got Weapon X, Captain America, Infinity Destiny, Fantastic Four, or, of course, Miles Morales.
Well, you want to do Weapon X since we just did Heroes Reborn?
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. I like it. I like the aspects of it. Again, the conquering of, parts of Canada by America. It's rough. Wolverine in this universe, he is created by the Hudson brothers.
Yep.
Although he still has his healing factor, which gives us an interesting take on the final scene. We have that he did kill Hyperion, but it was a very Death of Superman thing, which is actually an interesting thing because you'll notice that.
Well, because Shaman enchanted his claws too. That's how he was able to take on Hyperion.
but you notice what's on Wolverine's shoulders?
Here, wait, what page are you on?
That's. Well, I mean,
okay, I see it. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the spikes just like someone else who once killed a being.
Doomsday, yeah.
So they kind of like doomsdaying Wolverine in this. But, the end bit where they drop him on a dead... And first I thought, they're going to throw him into the sun. They're going to throw him on the moon.
That's what I thought.
No, they
just throw him into the sun, but yeah, no.
To be fair, he might have come back.
Even if he could survive a dip in the sun, I mean, wouldn't the gravity just like keep him in there? Or?
Well, I mean, arguably, unless someone comes and picks him up.
Oh, true.
And let's not forget, we just introduced ourselves a being with the power of 10,000 suns.
Oh, true.
And then never get a resolution for that. Because I'm sorry, that Dark Squadron. I honestly think all of those guys could have beaten the heck out of the Squadron Supreme.
Oh, yeah.
The Sentry is like, he could beat Hyperion. Easily. So, I don't know there. But, leaving him on the planet, but that we have, and this one, and it's interesting that they're going with a magical origin for Sasquatch here, it seems, rather than a gamma origin. Because he's got the horns, but he definitely, he makes his choice. Because he knows it's an unwinnable fight.
Well, yeah, he betrays Wolverine because, the Squadron releases these hostages they have, and they say they'll let the rest of Final Flight, I guess, go.
Yeah, and Canada gets to exist with, Ontario and Montreal. They've lost the western provinces, but you know what? It's something they couldn't stop, Yeah. And that's the thing. And it's interesting here, because when you look back at the Nick Fury as the Howling Commando-in-Chief, and you establish this idea that a president needs a superhero team.
Ooh.
And you open up this interesting idea that Nick Fury came back from World War II with a superhero team, including Power Princess and several others, all of whom apparently aren't the squadron we see now, but maybe other superhumans.
Well, I mean, we
like
saw
Namor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, last week we saw it, then we see like Namor, and
yeah. So he became president with his Squadron Supreme, probably with like Miss America, the Wizard, the original Wizard, Namor, and then a Captain America replacement, probably probably William Burnside's Captain America, and he came to power and he ruled for a while until Coulson came in as the new administrator of the new Squadron Supreme with, because I don't know if we've heard of any other presidents aside from Nick Fury whose face is on the money, which is interesting in that way because it also shows how much democracy has fallen, and we have gotten into this idea of following demagogues.
I mean, they could have did so much with this, more with this series, because I mean, if we have a Moon Knight, I mean, you would think we have a Khonshu, and you think Khonshu appreciates reality being warped?
Well, not if he's on the losing side, but then again, he's always on the losing side, so does Khonshu even notice?
Oh.
To be painfully honest with it, would Khonshu notice the difference between this Moon Knight and his own Moon Knight?
I just mean reality in general, but yeah, I don't know.
It's a reality.
True.
We all work here, buddy. Khonshu's just a 9-to-5 deity. That's what you got to understand. Okay, let's get back into official 616.
Yes.
So, Captain America, Infinite Destinies, that's where we get the entire storyline played out. Now, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Because we're going to get to this with Miles in a bit. Do you think the Assessor is the Mind Stone?
Could be. Yeah, I don't know. They really haven't said what it's basically just an AI they've said, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. I mean, we'll talk about that in a minute. But so right here in Infinite Destinies, we get Cap and Natasha tracking down this guy, Batista, who accidentally killed a family because he was a tweaker. And Warlock put all the gems into people. And you really get a lovely aspect here about, how hard it is to fight a guy who can control time. And just the fact that, the reason you're not dead is because I don't want to kill you. Mm-hmm. Which, honestly, I really think that Superman should say more to Batman when they get into fights. It's like, you do realize the reason you're not dead right now is because I am not trying to kill you. Mm-hmm. Please understand that. I understand you are mad at me for some reason, but maybe we should talk about it.
And I love how Black Widow's just like, she tells Captain America, "Why don't you leave Texas? I'll take care of this problem for us."
But you know what? Would she though? Could she? I think she's got a little bit of hubris there.
Yeah, I was going to say, could she kill him? I mean, maybe she caught him by surprise, maybe, but...
Well, yeah, obviously, in any of these situations, it's like, if I catch you by surprise...
And if you can kill this guy, would the stone just go find someone else?
Probably. It's like a Green Lantern ring.
So you're going to have the same problem, but then you're going to track down the stone all over again.
Yeah, exactly, which is kind of maybe why gathering the stone people together, which is what he says, and how he knows that, I don't know, but we're just going to assume he knows. Oh,
God, we're going to get a living infinity gauntlet.
Well, you're going to get a bunch of people who are the stones getting together because that's the thing, you need an impetus. He has a goal. He wants to go back in time. He can't go back in time. But then again, it's the idea that even if you go back in time and you change that, that's not going to change your outcome.
Or are the six going to combine and become like either something like a cosmic cube or a Beyonder or something?
Yeah, our powers combined.
Exactly.
Anyway, but yeah, we get this. We get the little tracer of like, oh, it works that if you have this, you have that. So what is actually the Mind Stone? Let me see. Powered by the user's mastery of soul, can grant telepathy and intelligence.
No, that's the Soul Stone, yeah.
No, that's the Mind Stone. Soul Stone is powered by the user's mastery of reality, can preserve the soul to allow for life after death. Because the idea is that you have to have mastery of one quality, and then the stone opens up for you in your reality. So
wait a second. Look at the descriptions and look at the stones.
Yes. So the Time Stone, powered by the user's mastery of space,
yes,
can allow a person to travel through time. Space is powered by the user's mastery of power, can allow the teleportation through space. And then, of course, powered by the mastery of mind can make a person more physically powerful. Now, that could also be the assessor, because if he is an AI, has a mastery of its own mind, if the Power Stone sought out an AI and made it just more powerful as an AI, it would, because it had the perfect mastery of mind, it had the perfect mastery of power. Interestingly enough, powered by the user's mastery of time, can allow the person to access the multiverse. I don't know how Star has an mastery of time, but I guess we're going to say she does. She's really good at schedules. Keeping everyone on a schedule. I don't know. Maybe she was an admin before this. We get a little backup story in this of Cap and New Fury, Nick Fury
Jr. Yeah,
Nick Fury Jr. Well, everyone just calls him Fury. I like Cap not like wanting to beat the heck out of Nick Fury in this. It's just like, you really want me to hit you? It's like you do know I'm a super soldier, right? But it's interesting, and we can see that Fury is going to be centered to this. I really wish this had all come out during the original time of the Infinity stories.
Yeah.
But because now it's like, oh yeah, that was a thing. COVID ruins all the stories.
But the fun continues in the Black Cat annual.
Yes, it does. I can't wait for it. That's next week, kids. You want to talk Fantastic Four?
Oh, Lord. The Wedding of Doom, yes.
You know, there's a part of me that wants to say, yeah, Doom is just that stupid. He's a college dropout. He's a petty dabbler. He doesn't know what he's doing. But like, part of me is like, no, he's a paranoid nut job who was trying to lure, and apparently before he goes on his grand space adventure, he needs to bring all of his enemies to a place and then have a arguable reason why he's going to kill them all. And the best way to do that is to have Johnny Storm shtup his fiancée. I Gewalt.
I just love there at the altar, and she like tells him, "Yes, I've been intimate with Johnny Storm," and then it's like you see like the shock and horror on everyone's faces except Namor, who just like bursts out laughing.
Well, of course he laughs at that because it's ridiculous that Doom is actually my favorite thing is Reed smacking Johnny in the back.
Oh yeah, he stretches all the way past the other two and smacks Johnny in the back of the head.
I'm surprised it wasn't Sue smacking him in the back of the head.
Well, she might not have been close. Well, yeah, she could have used a force field, I guess, but yeah.
But it's just the idea that it's just Reed. It's like, you.
Well, Reed's closer. Maybe he got to it first.
Yeah, part of me kind of thinks that maybe it was just like, you could have told us, Johnny. Maybe data we needed going into this storyline.
You slept with Hitler, with new Hitler's wife, soon-to-be wife. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, it just... but again, like I said, it's not like Doom doesn't have... Because literally we see his freaking 3D head floating over the bed. He's like, hey, baby, how you been? And she's like, I'm fine, honey, how you doing? As freaking Johnny Storm is under the bed. And you're going to tell me You're going to tell me Doom, if he can just show up in that room like that he can't see what's going on in the room? He doesn't have like a 3D, 365 or 360 degree view of the room, X-ray, gamma ray.
Or are we saying, Doom got a new woman, and now was he ready to turn over a new leaf, and Johnny Storm just like pooped all over that?
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Don't even. He stooped a lady in Infamous Iron Man.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Shouldn't she have been like, yeah, you have a baby mama out there somewhere?
Well, as far as he knows, his baby is dead. Yeah. Although, actually, he has an alternate universe baby with Morgan Le Fay, who he doesn't like either.
So see, he's a deadbeat. He don't pay child support. Come on.
Yeah, he's such an unlikable, unlovable character. And when you can say the Joker is a more interesting character than Dr. Doom, that says a lot.
When the Joker's more well thought out than you.
Yeah, he is just so bad but again, it's like to me, it's like this was all his plan, obviously, from the start.
And the whole thing with Skye not returning Johnny's calls, is Doom going to kill Skye as revenge or something?
No, she's going back to her homeworld because as we saw, the new puppet master made everyone get out because she's like, "You're trouble for Johnny, and you're no better. Get the fudge out."
Yeah, but what if Doom tries to kill her, though? Because I was going to say, as revenge, Doom could try to sleep with her, but I don't think that's going to happen. But no, was Doom going to try to kill her or something? Your soulmate.
I mean, why? Honestly, it's like...
Because Doom is petty.
Yes, but he also... that's the thing, it's like... But also Johnny Storm is like...
I mean, he's ready to kill...
If you killed his soulmate this week...
he's ready to...
Oh, I will... I mean, he's like Romeo. He is like, the fair Rosalind, how will I ever know love now that Rosalind has rejected me?
Charlie, he's petty. Johnny Storm dishonored him, so he's going to kill every guest at his wedding.
Well, I know, but like I said, that was his intention the whole time.
And I mean...
His intention was to kill everybody.
I guess, but I mean, yeah, I mean... Even Johnny...
He's writing a story where he looks like the hero.
Yeah.
Where when he kills everybody, it's like, honestly, it is just such a pathetic, weak move. Before I go do this other thing, I gotta make sure I kill everybody on Earth. It's just like, dear Lord, Dr. Doom, stop being... Petty. You know what? Stop being a freaking dropout. Read a freaking book. Try to apply yourself. Try to understand. You're not better than anybody. Because honestly, everyone sucks and so do you. So that is the moral for Dr. Doom. That is my mantra I want Dr. Doom to start saying to himself. Everyone sucks, but so do I.
You know what?
Everyone sucks, but so do I. And to get peace with that, because the dude's just effing up everything.
I think he was serious about the peace, I'll forgive all sin. Because
No, he was never. Well, no, he was never.
To save face, because he's going into space, so instead of, I'm running from my enemies, he doesn't want people to think he's running from his enemies. He's like, I was the bigger man and forgave them for their transgression.
No, except that he intentionally did that. Because he set up a situation because not for nothing, he knows Victorious. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like shooting her up with something to get her horny. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say it would not surprise me that that's like the whole thing, is that he was totally trying to play this, because there's no way he doesn't know at that point. There is no, and even like freaking Victoria says this to him. When Johnny Storm tries to sneak out, it's like, you are a man made of fire. You do not sneak. You cannot sneak anywhere. So what are we supposed to take from this, except for the fact that Dr. Doom wanted this blow up so that he could seem noble in his killing of his enemies. And my opinion is that was always his intention. His intention was always that he was going to kill his enemies, blow them all up, and then go do whatever this next thing he's going to do is. Not that anyone wants him to, because none of the Guardians are like, oh yeah, Doom, so glad you showed up. It's not like we didn't have like 4 freaking technical geniuses on this team already. And people that had like mystical powers and mind swapping. And it's like, what do you bring to this team, Doom?
Oh,
really? What are you bringing?
Oh my god, read the last couple issues of Guardians. The last issue, I cannot wait for the next one. Yeah, he was trying to do the mind swap thing, and then they like trapped him in the body of Rocket.
No, I know, I read that one, and it's like, what do you bring to this team? Why are you here? Did someone invite you? Are you just like... You ever see the ex-presidents on Saturday Night Live TV Funhouse?
Yeah.
And like, you know, Bill Clinton tries to join the ex-presidents. You know, and he's like, you don't have powers, dude. You're not one of us. You weren't at the Celebrity Pro-Am golf tournament. You weren't struck by lightning. You don't have superpowers. You don't bring anything to the team. Please go home. You know? And that's really it. It's like, he is not him trying to ingratiate. And again, it's that exact same idea. And to which I'm going to say, you know what? You kind of get the feeling like he kind of left town after all this. He's like, yeah, I'm going to lead you now. It's like, nobody asked you. Nobody invited you. Who are you? You got armor, so you're Iron Man? Okay.
No.
You do some magic? Are you like Doctor Strange? Well, no, I'm not the Sorcerer Supreme, but, you know, I can do magic. Good magic? It's like, I can do magic.
So you're a poor man's everyone else?
You know what? He's a dabbler. He's a jack of all trades, a master of none. And that is the truest thing you can say about Doctor Doom in this universe.
Well, yeah, think about his his origin. Yeah, science literally blew up in his face, so he's like, oh, F you, Reed Richards, I'm going to learn magic.
Dear Lord, Doctor Doom. It's like... He's no Otto Octavius, that's all I'm going to say.
Exactly.
And not just that Otto Octavius is like some great genius or some guy that can think ahead. He's not. But he knows who he is.
No.
He knows he's a Spider-Man villain. And he is very comfortable in his wheelhouse.
Stays in his limits, yes.
You know, well, he's like one of the best Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
That's his thing. And Dr. Doom, he just wants to be everybody's villain. It's like, you can't be everybody's villain. It's like, at best, you're a petty annoyance to Doctor Strange. You are, a guy that Reed Richards feels sorry for. You're a poor man's Tony Stark. That's literally who you are.
You can't even pay what you owe Luke Cage. Come on.
Oh, man. He's lucky Luke Cage didn't get mad at him. He's here for his money, honey. Oh, man. All right, Philip. Do you have any other... Oh, we got to talk Miles real quick.
Yep.
Good old Miles. Oh, yeah. What is... Salim, the bad guy, Miles.
Oh, yeah. Because there's like these 3 clones, yeah.
Yeah, there's Mind Spinner, and what's the... all he says is Glurp, but what do they call him? Shift?
I think it's something like that.
Yeah. But he's the one with like limited control over his bodily structure.
Mm-hmm.
And then Salim.
So, imagine that. If the Assessor is like what do we say? The Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone, or possibly the Power Stone. One or the other.
So I know the Assessor kidnapped Miles for a while and was like studying him, and so it looks like the Assessor made these clones. So,
and here's my thing.
And I think,
by the way, I knew that was Salim at the end.
Yeah,
because his costume wasn't ripped. That's how you knew.
But the Assessor could be one of the stones, because I think the Miles Annual is going to be a part of that. So
so I assume the Assessor is probably either the power or the Mind Stone. Although it actually makes more sense that he would be the Power Stone because he would be fully within his own mind as an AI.
And he's purple.
He is purple.
I don't know.
I don't have him in front of me, so I can't.
Well, I mean, they have him like in a black suit, but look at all these panels. What's that background, man? It's all purple.
So there we go. So he is the Power Stone. That makes perfect sense that it inhabited an AI. Because what would be more perfect for an AI than a Power Stone? I still don't know why Bautista is I guess maybe because he was in jail? So his space was limited? And he wanted to be outside of space? Or
well, he got the Time Stone. Is it because he wanted to go back in time and fix his mistake?
Well, no, but it says that your mastery of space tells you your ability that controls your ability to manipulate time. So, anyway, it's all very fast. I like what they're doing with this. Yeah. I like what they're doing with this. And I'm interested to see how it plays out with our good friend Miles here. Salim is so evil and so angry.
Oh, yeah.
And, I wonder how this is going to end. I really do. Because are they going to be able to stabilize the clone? Are they all going to turn to dust at the end? I'm wondering what's going to happen with this. Because I think it would be really cool if there is a clone team of Mileses out there living their best lives at the end of this.
I mean, I hope it's like those Infinity Stones, because I was like, how are they going to make this different from like the original Clone Saga? But you throw in Infinity Stones, I guess, yeah.
I mean, I guess it was already somewhat like the Clone Saga. First off, it's not, a guy sexually obsessed with a, freaking college student to start off. So, yay for that.
The Jackal.
God. Yeah, that was just weird.
Even in Heroes Reborn, too.
Yeah, honestly, well, they have done so much weird stuff with Gwen Stacy over the years. I do not know what to do with it anymore. The whole goblin babies, I'm just like, what now?
Oh, we don't talk about that.
I can't stop. It's like, someone told me it existed, and now it must exist forever. It's like, goblin babies,
I know,
no!
But we've never seen those babies who are, grew up after he made that Mephisto deal. We never saw. I think that was part of the deal. Erase that.
Even Mephisto says, no, I just for me, I need to get rid of that.
That's a freebie for you, kid.
I can't look at that. I cannot look at that. That is wrong. I am Mephisto, and I know that is wrong.
I'll give it.
There are lines Mephisto will not cross.
I'll give you that. I'll throw that in as a bonus. You're a good customer, kid. I'll give it to you.
Which makes you wonder, yeah, really. Which makes you wonder what Blur got out of the deal. I mean, I'm fat. I kind of wonder, like, how it's sort of like, WandaVision got cut short, and Falcon Winter Soldier got cut short by all of these things with COVID. Makes you wonder, like, what these stories might have been had there not been COVID.
Oh, true.
Like, had they really been able to explore these and let these stories breathe? I wonder if we might have gotten an extra issue of, Dark Squadron.
Maybe.
Assuming that's not one of the ones coming in the next couple of months. But honestly, I'm excited. I like this universe. I really hope that, like, sort of like they did with Amalgam, when they just started throwing out one-shots for these things.
Well, I was going to say, if this universe survives, they could always come back and do more, one-shots.
Well, as we know, all universes eventually survive.
Exactly.
If people want to buy the books.
I was going to say, if it makes money, it'll survive.
Yeah. No, I liked the Miles book. It was enjoyable. And, I like the clones. I like that. I mean, it's kind of a trope that the big dumb one is the nice one.
Yeah.
But he's dumb, but he is the wisest of us all in his own simple way. So I like that. And, I hope that they don't just turn them all into freaking crystal dust at the end of it.
Yeah.
I hope they actually do. I hope that the real reveal is actually you were stable all along. And that maybe even it's just this idea that, no, you were stable. The reason why the clones died was because the freaking assessor just killed them when they were dead ends.
Mm.
You escaped before you could kill them. Sort of like Sharon Ventura, when she escaped the power broker before they could get her addicted.
Yes.
And it's just like, no, you just escaped before he decided to kill you. So that's what happened. You actually were never in danger of decomposing. And you're fine now. Yes, he's a blobby guy, and yes, this one's a spider person, and you're clearly a sociopath, Salim. But you know what? You're actually okay. So that would be a great ending to this story, I'm hoping for.
Yes.
We'll see what happens, Phil. Any final thoughts on that?
No. I think that's good.
Okay. I mean, I've enjoyed this. There's so much good content out there. I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to seeing the Black Widow film next week. Either in a theater, maybe in 3D surround sound for free, just to pay the extra money just to see it. Because it's been so long, but I may just download it on Disney Plus, depending on schedules.
Wait, and how long? How long did you say?
You
didn't say next week, did you?
Well, I mean the week after next week.
Let's see. 1, 2, I think 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm counting by my. So next week is the week. The week after is when my vacation starts, and at the end of that week is when Black Widow comes out. So
Yeah.
Don't give me trouble, Philip. But yes, when it comes out in July, after July 4th.
I forgot you're taking a long road trip. Okay, I forgot.
How do you think I'm visiting you?
I know.
That's the whole point.
After Rob Southgate, I know.
Yeah, I could have visited you first, but I'm going to Toledo. But
no, that's fine.
You know what, Philip?
Hey, you're going to meet Rob Southgate before me. I've never met the man in person.
This will be my first time. And of course, the Marvel exhibit is sold out at the Museum of Science and Industry. But that's okay. Those are always a scam anyway, just so you know. And they have the big extra facility. It's like, yeah, okay. It's a couple of experiments that's like, here's this, and it's like, here's a Spider-Man picture. Okay. Don't know how those two tie in, but we'll go along with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing. But anyway, it's okay. Who knows by the time we get there, they may, now we can let people into this. Who knows? Anyway, Philip, if anyone wants to talk to you about any of these things or complain about the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry or defend it here, defend the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry, how can they do that?
If you get a hold of any of us by emailing capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And find links to all of our social medias, our YouTube channel, our Patreon, our merch at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics.
Okay. And what they can also do is go down to our show notes, click on the link to Amazon, Go to Amazon, buy some Amazon products. We don't care what you buy, but while you're there, maybe check out Pod Life the book, which is available both in a digital download or a hard copy in case you're worried about the apocalypse. Find out why the Southgate Media Group community podcasts. It'll be fun. And then when you do all that and you'd like to reach out to me, always write to me at good old superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet things like Legends of Tomorrow on Sundays. I do want to live tweet Loki at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. I just haven't gotten the chance to. But if you do, I will do it at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing. Thank you, Maz. Oh, and listen to me and Maz talk about Loki over on the Nuff Said feed, as well on the Full Stream Ahead feed.
Yep.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to another episode of Superconnectivity. We have enjoyed connecting with you. I really hope you come back again next week and super connect with us again. Good night.
Good night.
This was fun.
More fun than Doom's wedding.
That was not fun.
No. The only one who had fun there was Johnny Storms. Well, before.
Well, you didn't have fun at the wedding. You had fun before.
That's what I said
the wedding.
before. Yeah. First bachelor party ever.